Good morning, it's day 26 of the RPG A Day 2022 questions. So the final question for this character, Leah Davis, is why does she do what she does? Now, she became a pilot obviously because, she wanted to see space and do something with her life, but the difficulty with being a pilot is you're stuck in the same place for years and, cryo sleep. You just sleep most of that away, and so she doesn't get to see very much action or do very much things, and that result is she's a thrill seeker, or she became addicted to stims, just trying to chase highs and experiences that are above the mundane. And so when the game occurred and she was able to go explore the derelict and stuff, and of course it turned into a horrific experience, a lot of the things she did was to kind of get that next high, and ultimately kind of not really having anything specific to live for. She just fought until the end, until it came down to it, just like screw the whole place, and that was the end of the game last night, and it was a great time. So see you tomorrow for Saturday. Alright, day 27 of the RPG A Day 2022 questions. This will be a quick one because the question is, how has my character changed? And the game is over. The Chariots of the Gods trilogy was 3 episodes, and Leah Davis has seen the conclusion of her story. Personality-wise, she didn't really change a lot. She used a lot of stims, kind of was the thrill seeker to some extent, also wanting to survive, but eventually she just kind of gave up and realized the futility of their situation and decided it was best just to take down everything and destroy the ship. So she went to the reactor and messed with it to cause a self-destruct. Physically, she did change. In one of the final kind of runs towards trying to get to the bridge after the cryo chambers unleashed a whole bunch of I forgot if they're neomorphs, so they're the aliens. One caught her and pulled off her right arm. So Leia was armless for a second. She was able to avoid getting the second one pulled off in a secondary attack later on. But as she crawled down the hallway, missing her arm, the last kind of noteworthy thing she did was just popped all the rest of her stims, just get one final high before she crawled her way to the reactor room, and that was the end of the game for her. So how has she changed? Missing an arm, I guess, and dying. So that's all for today, and we'll see you tomorrow. Good morning, it's RPG Day 2022, day 28. We're almost done. Style Sunday. Now, I'm not going to roll the D8 and tag everybody. I'm just going to show you a couple of my favorite RPG covers. I went over all of my bookshelves and kind of looked through them all, just seeing which ones jumped out at me as inspiring or tempting, making me want to play. And I think you'll see a theme, but I just picked out 4 that jumped out at me. Really, there's 3, and then I added the 4th because it kind of went with the theme. But here's Hollow Earth Expedition, Perils of the Surface World. Now this RPG book, to me, like, they're on a boat, so it's very like Indiana Jonesy, but the girl's shooting a Tommy gun back at like tentacles. So this just is like making me definitely want to play whatever this setting is. And the next one over, similarly, this is the Ubiquity supplement, Leagues of Cthulhu, and you can see that there's this giant like monolith here in the water, dripping with water, very Cthulhu-esque, and you have these adventurers kind of walking up by torchlight. The big skull there. This just seems very Indiana Jonesy mixed with Call of Cthulhu, and of course that's exactly what I would want to play. Both of these 2 are my favorite 2 covers that I saw. So definitely, again, you can see the theme. Pulling this one over, this is a little bit more extreme monster, Pulp Cthulhu. This thing is huge. There's the Statue of Liberty. So this guy is just shooting at it out of just going crazy. Like, that's not going to do anything to him. But this was a great cover too. And then lastly over is the Quantum Black Dark Designs cover. And I added this one just because I love this scientist guy. He's like doing all his research data, and he's got the sample of this like Shoggoth baby spawning or something. You've got like the vampire up on the phone, the monster trying to get through the door. Just definitely inspires me to play this game, any of these games. Definitely, though, I really love the Indiana Jones adventure feel of these two books. I think, man, these are tied. I love them both equally. This one where she's like in like the silk Chinese dress. And then just how much this is adventure feels. So, what are your favorite covers? You can just post them. You don't have to make a video, but I'm curious to see what everybody else is. I looked through all the D&D book covers, all of my Lord of the Rings book covers, all the different systems, and they're all so good. But when you go from cover to cover to cover to cover, like probably 30 RPG books that I kind of pulled out, even all my Star Wars ones, they're all so good. But the ones that made me like, I want to play this is, Hello, it's RPG A Day 2022, and it's day 29, so we're almost done. The question is, who would you like to see participate in RPG A Day next year, I presume, because it's too late at this point, unless someone wants to just binge 31 questions, which is probably, would take like 30 minutes, so doable. But anyways, I split this question into two kind of groups. One being more like celebrities in the RPG sphere that I would like to see participate, and then also just people on my friends list in my group, in the Lee6113 group. So celebrities, though, the first person that definitely came to mind was Seth Skorkowski. I think already he's got so many great videos talking about his experiences and war stories in RPGs and stuff. But his personalities, his characters that he uses for his skits are so funny. I think it'd be really funny to see him participate in RPG A Day, but in character, seeing like dweebles answer the 30 questions. That would just be funny. So if I could only pick one, I'd pick Seth Skorkowski. Other celebrities I think would be really fun is the entire High Rollers crew. I'm a fan of the High Rollers show on YouTube and Twitch. They're in the Erois campaign. I'd love to hear what Mark Humes and Chris Trott, Katie and Kim, definitely Rhiannon. I think she would be really funny to hear her answers. Not even funny, I think thoughtful. And then of course, cannot forget Tom Hazel. He would be just a hoot to watch, answering all the questions. Other YouTube creators that I think would be really fun to see participate would be Matt Colville from MCDM, Matt Click from A Fistful of Dice and Absolutely Tabletop, Tabletop Terrors, both of them, or actually no, there's three of them I believe, from the Absolutely Tabletop group, and Scott Ools, kind of a acquaintance of mine. He made Maximum Apocalypse. I think it'd be fun to hear some of his takes on these answers. And just I think RPG A Day helps you get to know the person behind the screen answering the questions, because it's kind of like you're answering an interview. So on that note, I think it'd be really fun flipping to the other group of my friends, which are obviously going to be a lot more personal to me to hear their stories. I think Eric would be a great candidate if he had time to do RPG A Day. I'd love to hear kind of some of his background and answers to the different questions. I think Dieter, I think Adam would be really fun to hear. Pepper, I would love to hear more of your stories. Todd, even people that I'm not super familiar with outside of just the Discord usernames, but there's like Hammer Time, Pie Guy, Avunicat, and Alex. I would love to see Becca, my wife, do RPG A Day. So I mean, there's I could go down my Discord list and read off everybody's names that I know, and if I don't actually do that, I will miss somebody. So I'm just gonna pause it there. But I think this has been really fun. I've missed a couple days and caught up, and it's probably a pain in the butt to try to do a video every day. But I think if someone has time, I would love to hear more people participate. So it's just a fun interview almost, and just talking about RPGs is fun. It's been kind of a a break for me when daily life at my work is extremely stressful. It's fun to just take 5 minutes or less and just answer a random RPG question and put it out there and see everybody else doing the same. I had so much fun watching Mackenzie's and Matt's videos, and kind of in conclusion to the month ending, just looking back, it's going to be something fun I can go back and watch down the road in a year or 5 years, or when I'm old and gray. So anyways, you all have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you tomorrow for day 30. Good morning. It's day 30 of RPG Day 2022, and the question's about next year. What should RPG Day do for the 10th anniversary? And I think, first off, that's really cool that it made it to 10 years in 2023. And I like the structure of answering just questions about RPGs. I think specifying in like a rules page or structure page, if anybody's confused about how to go about doing it, that it doesn't have to be a video, it could be kind of anything, and it doesn't have to be on the exact day. So day 1 doesn't have to correspond to day 1, to August 1st. It could be 3 or 4 days late, it could be you do 7 at a time, it could be whatever, and just making that really clear. Another thing that I think I would like is having maybe a better graphic that doesn't require like editing for those who want to do something on YouTube with like their videos. I think it'd be fun to have individual days or groups, especially if that helps show organization better. I love it how some of the questions focused more on the stories of your character. And I think it'd be really cool to have batches about that, so you can really go into more depth with something. Like if you're like highlighted who are you playing and what have they been doing and all that one that took 4, 5, 6 questions. I think it'd be fun to kind of focus in on that. Like maybe if you're a GM, what setting have you created, and ask them some questions about that, or if you've been playing in a campaign, asking more about that character and what they've accomplished and gone through. Another topic that I think could be really fun is advice to new players, whether you're brand new in RPGs or whether you're a veteran. You're going to have something that you've learned in your long or short time that you could pass on to the new people, and not necessarily even new people, just everybody can learn. So just a couple thoughts about for next year. I certainly hope to do this again. It was really fun, and I'll see you all tomorrow for the last day, which I think I'm going to do something different for the last day. I think the questions are just anecdotes, and I think I have an idea. So I will talk to you all tomorrow.